Hello everyone, and welcome to the Stanley Parable. But yes, just got this game off of Steam. It looked really interesting, although I don't know anything about it, other than the fact that it's supposed to be like a complete and total Inception kind of like game. So I'm excited, can't wait to play this. I hope you guys have fun watching me play this, because it's going to be interesting. The most interesting loading screen ever. The end is never the end. Never the end is never the end. End is never the. There's like 4 different ways to read that. The end is never. End is never the. Is never the. End is never the end. Loading never. The end is never the end is never the end is. I don't know, that's kind of trippy. Even loading screens are trippy. I'm excited for this, so excited. But it's taking way too long to load. You can do it. I'm giving you encouragement. You can do it. You can load. God, it's so slow. Almost there. Almost there. Just a little more. Just a little more. You're almost there. Yes.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job
Can't stop
was
smiling.
simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, of every month, of every
That sounds really boring.
And although others might have considered it soul-ripping, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time.
Interesting.
But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I don't think so. I'm staying in my office. It's nice in here. Look at this computer. It's nice. Well, no, it's not. It looks horrible. Okay. Let's go. Let's leave at my desk. These are things.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I actually like how it's like...
No matter
shut
how
up.
hard Stanley looked,
Shut
he
up!
couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I like the narration, but it keeps interrupting me. Like, as soon as I'm talking, it starts to interrupt me. So this guy's job was to, like, sharpen pencils all day. This guy probably answered phones. Trying to read that copy mug. Who farted? Nice. Nice. I hate Mondays. Wait, I hate Mondays. Nice. Nice. I'm so excited for this game. I've been trying to get money to buy it. What does that computer screen say? I can't read it. What do these mugs say? Mile... I just like... work. I just like... hate my boss. Oh. I like work, I just hate my boss. Okay. And that one is mile... just says mile. Okay. Where am I going? I like the music. It's very eerie. Very, very... Ooh. No, I can't do anything with that box. Be my Valentine. No thank you. F you. Few. What's this few? Who farted? Can't open the door. That's not the way I'm going then. Interesting pictures, I gotta say.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What do I do? I don't know if I should listen to him or not. Let's go left. Let's go left. He says I went left. Let's go left. That's just suspicious lighting.
Yet there was not a single person there either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
To solve a dispute with a coworker, let a ball up inside you, take a passive aggressive. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide is as a slick blue graphic as... You, most of all. I'm liking the slideshow. I'm liking the slideshow. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Which charge same slide depict slide information. They're graphs about the slides. Boss appreciation minute. Boss appreciation minute. Circle the top 20 things. Fill the application. Return to your boss appreciation specialist. Wow, they have a specialist for that. That's impressive. Solving personal conflict. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another intelligent employee like yourself, glad to conflict in this. Why did we hire you? I didn't finish reading it. Talk radio, transcend, lunch, travel, metamorphosis, guest notes, spring break, hope, clear skin. What are your dreams for the future? I want to be clear skin. That's what I want to be in my future. Talk less, do unbelievably amazing work, all the time, every day, no expectation of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. That's a great tip for not getting fired. And that just goes in a single thing. Requires more secondary research. What is hot? What? What do people want? Things. Mike James, you're fired. Graphs about things plus money. Nice. Oh, this is actually. I find this strangely amusing that I'm enjoying graphs. I'm weird. Yes, I know I am. My quarterly post review. Yes. Let's see here. Meeting room. For meeting schedule Monday, weekly targets. Weekly Mondays, termination Tuesdays. Termination Tuesdays. That doesn't sound good. Group 40X, Group 45, Group 49. Office party. Oh yeah. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. There is a whiteboard manager. There is a whiteboard manager. Wow. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda. Get Chris. Get out. What? New coffee machine. Get broom closet. Hire somebody to fire the papers. Just move my desk. Nice. Core value shift global market. Monetize free to play. Yeah, well, this isn't exactly free to pay. Broom closet. So someone's in the broom closet. Oh, I can open. I can open doors. I can open that.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Are you sure I did that? Pretty sure Chris was supposed to be in there. Chris was hiding in the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I didn't. I walked downstairs. That's where I am. I'm walking downstairs.
But Stanley just couldn't do
Huh.
it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment.
What's going on?
For no reason at all. None of it made any
Going in a
logical
circle.
sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Go back.
What a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa, this is awesome.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too
Whoa.
appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid?
This is
And then perhaps the
funny.
strangest
I'm
question
liking
of
this.
them all entered
I'm
Stanley's
liking
mind.
this.
One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
What?
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange.
This is beautiful.
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
It's beautiful.
And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes
What's
and
going
he
on?
invited himself to
What's going
wake
on?
up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
I like this.
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
What?
I am okay.
No. I am.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Did I lose?
This is the story of a woman named... Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control.
That's boring.
I know what is real
That's incredibly
and what
boring.
isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had
Little
scheduled
bitch.
for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned.
What a bitch. What a bitch. She is such a bitch. So, I lost? I lost. Huh. That was awesome! Okay, I'm gonna do it again.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I like this.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
I like
Perhaps he had
this.
simply missed a memo.
So, what?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he
Let's see what
entered
happens
the
when I
door
go on the
his
right.
left.
Let's see what happens.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to
So?
admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yes. Okay, let's go with that. Yes.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope. Nope, I didn't. Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Whoa. Okay. This is kind of cool. Let's see, what does this do? Cargo lift. Will cause death. And then there's a penalty of $5,000 for that, yes.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
So you're gonna drop me
There's
off the cargo
someone you've been
lifts.
neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
But who is her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Not creepy at all. Totally not creepy. That is not a good sign. Nope, nope, I don't like it. Nope, 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 nope. I don't want to go in. I don't want to go in. Shit.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach
What's
out to
happening?
her.
Did I get fired? What's happening? Did I get fired? I got fired.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay,
She sounds
there
cute.
we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
What the What?
Gotcha. Oh,
What?
Come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No!
Sorry, but you're in my
God.
story now.
Son of a bitch.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man.
Oh,
named
screw you.
Stanley.
Screw you.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature
Screw
of
you.
his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's
Screw
told to
you.
do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I don't understand why you want me to do this.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
What if I don't want to push C? Huh? Well, okay.
And so he began to fantasize
What?
about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
What?
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again.